Military drones. This is Aviation channel. What are UAV? Unmanned Aerial Vehicle are aircraft with no onboard crew or passengers. They can be automated drones or remotely piloted vehicles. UAV can fly for long periods of time at a controlled level of speed and height and have a role in many aspects of aviation. The first pilotless vehicles were developed in Britain and the USA during the First World War. Britain's aerial target, a small radio-controlled aircraft, was first tested in March 1917, while the American aerial torpedo known as the Catering Bug first flew in October 1918. Although both showed promise in flight tests, neither were used operationally during the war. Functions of UAV. Drones now have many functions ranging from monitoring climate change to carrying out search operations after natural disasters, photography, filming, and delivering goods. But their most well-known and controversial use is military drones that are basically fall into two categories: those that are used for reconnaissance and surveillance purposes and those that are armed with missiles and bombs. Characterization and advantages. Military drones operate with sophisticated ground control units which provide not only live video stream but the ability to mark targets on the map to guide ground forces to the target. Military drones encrypt the data being sent from it to the ground station. Saves lives. The most obvious advantage of military drone is that they greatly reduce putting military personnel in harm's way or in combat. The second most obvious advantage of drones is their low cost because they are significantly cheaper to purchase, fuel, and maintain than regular aircraft. Accuracy. Drones can have more pinpoint accuracy from greater distances, this reducing collateral damage to civilians and infrastructure. Lethal. Drones are as lethal to enemy combats as regular aircraft. This means that it is easier to neutralize enemy power using a drone with minimal human casualties. Spying. Drones have proven to increase surveillance, reconnaissance, and general military intelligence because of their stealth nature. It is difficult for the enemy to notice a drone operation. Deployment. Drones are significantly easier and faster to deploy than most alternatives. Some drones can be deployed by hand while others can simply take off like a normal aircraft. Types of military drones according to size. Micro and nano drones. The most obvious example of such a drone is the Black Hornet, which British soldiers have been using to look over walls and around corners in Afghanistan since 2013. The Black Hornet, manufactured by the Norwegian company Brooks Dynamics, can hover for up to 25 minutes on one charge of its battery, and the digital data link to its terminal has a range of up to a mile, 1.6 kilometers. In 2014, the company augmented the Black Hornet with night vision and infrared. Small tactical drones. Even if a soldier can't carry a drone in his pocket, he can toss one up in the air. This would be possible, for example, with the Flomar, a lightweight surveillance drone that fly for around 12 hours and a range of 90 kilometers depending on what it's carrying. The Flomar series was developed by the French aerospace multinational Thales mainly for what drone specialists call ISTAR, or intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance capabilities. Medium-sized reconnaissance drones. One of the key drones in this class is the Heron, made by the Israeli Aerospace Industries IAI. This drone, which weighs over 1000 kilos and has a wingspan of over 16 meters, can fly up to 52 hours at a height of 10,000 meters, 35,000 feet, around the same height as a commercial airliner. Large combat and surveillance drones. Probably the most well-known military drones are the large-scale combat drones used by the US, which are all operated from US soil by pilots via a satellite link up. The MQ-1 Predator and its larger and newer cousin, the MQ-9 Reaper, both males made by the US firm General Atomics. Reapers can be armed with various air-to-surface missiles as well as laser-guided bombs, have a range of over 1,000 miles and a maximum non-stop flight time of 14 hours. Apart from the US, several other NATO air forces operate Reapers, including those of the UK, Spain, France, and the Netherlands. The Chinese made rival the CH-4, which looks very similar to the Reaper. The Chengdu Winglong 2 unveiled at the Aviation Expo China, Beijing in September 2015. Winglong 2 has long-range strike capability with a satellite link. The Global Hawk, meanwhile, made by the US firm Northrop Grumman, boasts some spectacular I-star capabilities and is by far the largest and most expensive of the drones. Unit costs have reached 131 million, even without the ground infrastructure. The Global Hawk flies above commercial air traffic at an altitude of up to 18,000 meters. Though it is usually used over conflict zones, the Global Hawk main purpose is not even necessarily military. It is capable of signals surveillance, in other words scanning mobile phone calls. Though Northrop Grumman is the only company that currently produces drones of this size, it's likely to face competition in the future, especially from the Chinese CH series made by the China. Bayraktar TB2 is manufactured by Turkish company called Baykar Makina Sanayi VE Tekarit AS, primarily for the Turkish armed forces. The development of the UAV in Turkey has been largely credited to Selçuk Bayraktar, a former MIT graduate student. Countries have over 100 countries and non-state groups have drones, and many actors have access to armed drones, but not all of them produce their UAVs at home. Majority buy it from China. Quantar Unmanned Air System. The malicious use of UAV has led to the development of Quantar Unmanned Air System (CUAS) technologies. Anti-aircraft missile systems such as the Iron Dome are also being enhanced with CUAS technologies. Many countries are working to develop countermeasures against drones, and over time we will see more effective counter drone system spread to battlefields as well. One challenge though will be countering massive drone attacks, since low-cost drones can be built in large numbers. There has been a lot of talk about futuristic so-called drone swarms. A radio frequency jammer designed to address the ever-increasing threat of drones, disrupt the drone control frequency, and force the drone to return to the operator. It can also overwhelm the global positioning system, global navigation satellite system GPS, GNSS signals to make the drone hover, land, or fall out of the sky. Operations: a pilotless drone aircraft designed for reconnaissance and artillery spotting used by British forces in the Gulf War 1991. Reconnaissance UAV were deployed on a large scale in the Vietnam War. Drones also began to be used in a range of new roles, such as acting as decoys in combat, launching missiles against fixed targets, and dropping leaflets for psychological operations. Armed drones were used in the Balkans War and used in the CIA undeclared war in Pakistan. The MQ-1 Predator, Unmanned Aerial Vehicle, or UAV, becomes the iconic weapon of that period of counter-insurgency warfare waged by the United States in Afghanistan, Iraq. An MQ-9 Reaper, unpiloted aircraft on missions as part of Operation Shader. The Reaper is used for surveillance and reconnaissance but is also armed of 4 airstrikes. It was Reaper drones that are believed to have been used to kill the Iranian General Qasem Soleimani outside Baghdad airport in January 2020. Drone strikes have played a key role in recent conflicts, helping bolster the Addis Ababa government's position in the face of attack from TPLF, Tigray People's Liberation Front rebels. Armed drones have had a decisive impact, contributing to the survival of Libya's internationally recognized government in Tripoli. In last year's Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, Turkish supplied drones were a potent factor enabling Azerbaijan's force to wrest control of the disputed enclave from Armenia. Next video will be about drones in Russia-Ukraine war. Thank you for watching MM Aviation channel. Don't forget to subscribe.